I'm going to make a confession to all of you who are watching. I have read the book, most of it. I mean, I know you've added some parts that I probably haven't looked at, but I have had a chance. And one of the things I found, there's a lot of really great parts that I love. And I think the part that we need to talk more about, and it's part of your intro, is that the touch hunger symptoms. Often we don't realize that we have skin hunger, touch hunger, that we are, some of the things that we're experiencing in our bodies are because we lack touch that doesn't have an agenda, that doesn't require any kind of performance or expectations or pressure, right? Just touch for touch's sake, and it's platonic. And I'd like to read the list because I did write it out.
Oh my God, I love you so much. Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I think people need to hear this list. All right, so the first one is, you can't remember the last time you had a good long hug.
Yep.
I mean, I think probably 90% of people, I don't know, maybe 80, like a high percentage of people can't remember that. So that's number one. 2, you don't sleep well.
Yeah.
3, you are distrustful of people. That's huge.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who, they find themselves isolating even further, and they can definitely tell that that's exacerbated by their lack of touch. And so it becomes this vicious circle and self-fulfilling, and it's a bad place to be.
So, right, yes, absolutely. Next one, you have little to no physical contact with others, which I think that one's a little obvious. I mean, it's obvious, but it's good that you wrote it in there. You are jumpy and easily startled. You are depressed. Yep. You are anxious. You are lonely. There's a lot of research and articles about loneliness and it being kind of an epidemic at this time in our society.
Yep.
You feel disconnected and your body is tense.
Yes.
Can be results.
So just to clarify a little bit, and I think I talk about this, a lot of those things that we talk about could have other biological bases or neurological bases or something, and touch won't necessarily cure them completely, but they will help to alleviate some of the symptoms, and it's a very, very simple way. It's interesting because I talk about you can't remember the last time that you've had a good long hug, and there's that quote that's always going around about you need 8 hugs a day for survival. And I would even take it further than this, and I'm sure you know this from doing this work, but there's a big difference between getting a hug, even a really nice long hug, where you can feel the other person, the tension leaving their body, and laying down with someone for a long time and cuddling and snuggling. There's a level of relaxation and, being able to let down your guard and, let your muscles really, really let go that you can't get from just a standing hug. There's been a lot of research done on the vagus nerve, which is, they call it the rest and digest nerve. And it's a nerve that basically goes through your entire body from your head to your groin, and it touches all of most of your major organs. And when the vagus nerve is activated, it allows your body to what's the word I'm looking for, to kind of reset and go back into the parasympathetic nervous system and, get out of that state of elevated and heightened danger or, being on alert. And we could use more of that. I mean, people are stressed and on guard a lot of times. And I think that, being able to feel safe is super, super good for your health.
One of the other quotes that I have here that I really loved was, we don't have social scripts on how to touch our friends.
That is very true.
So important. And because we need the scripts, right? We need to be able to say the things. We can't expect people to read our minds. That's probably what got us into a lot of trouble. We think that somebody wants us to touch them, and then we do, and then me too, #me too. So how about we don't have the words, we don't know, how easy it can be, and you make it so easy. You make it seem like first you address here's the problem, and guess what? Most of us need this, and if you don't know if your friend needs it, why don't you ask? hey, do you need this? Because I kind of need this. And then how easy you make it to just script it out and just copy paste what Epiphany says. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Just try. It takes courage and vulnerability, but you don't lose anything. If anything, your friends will think that they'll feel so endeared by you, right? Your friends will be like, "Aw," at least, hopefully.
I mean, some of your friends might think that you're really weird, and and that's okay. It's like you don't know if they're going to say yes or no until you ask. And I mean, this is one of the hardest things for people to ask. I mean, you hear this a lot, like especially from men, where they're like, I could really use a hug, but I'm scared to ask my women friends for a hug because I don't want them to think that I'm coming on to them or, that I'm interested in them. And yeah, I mean, it's just really gotten into a tangled, snarled mess. And I'm hoping to help us find our way out of it a little bit, or at least be having some conversations about this stuff, because as more and more of us choose to live alone, and more people are single, getting married later, having less sex, all these things, it's going to be more and more important to figure out how we can fulfill this basic human need.
So here it is, y'all. Get to the Kickstarter. Please check it out. Donate, even if it's just $5 or whatever. I think your smallest is a small fee, or not fee.
The smallest is $1, and I actually, like, one of my rewards is called the kindness of strangers. And so what that is people who've invested in the $75 level. One of the things that they're doing is buying a book for somebody who's donating at that lower level, who may love the concept but not be able to afford it. That reward's actually been pretty popular. People are like, oh, that's cool, much better. I have another $75 reward called Asking for a Friend, where you can send a copy of the book to one of your friends, and people have been like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
So please get on there, support the project. We need it to go through so we can have this book out there in the world. It matters. We need more resources. We need people to know that they can do this. That revolution.
Definitely do it. It's pretty darn easy, and especially if you already have a group of friends that you spend a lot of time with and that you're close with. I mean, doesn't this sound much more fun than like going out and having cocktails during happy hour and having to go to work hungover the next day, spending a bunch of money? And yeah, it's a fun way to spend your social time for sure.
So thank you again, Epiphany. She's in Austin, Texas. Please find her on Facebook, message her. I don't know if you're anywhere else, but find out where you can meet her, get the book. Hopefully, let's get this Kickstarter all the way through so we can get the copies this fall. And we'll see y'all later.
Bye. Thank you, Janet. Have a good day. It was nice chatting with you.